Hello, welcome back. Well, in today's video, I figure I make a list of at least 10 different things that you could do or buy, or things that are business related, especially for eBay, that save you money. So, what I mean saving money, what are things that you could do that cost you less? So, that's not only monetary, but it's also time wise. Now, if you go by time is money, time is money. Do you have free time as you're reselling? Most likely. Do you want more? If you can add all that free time up, can you account and go out to go do something more business related if you have more time? Sure. The other part is the monetary. What things cost you money in your business? So, number one is cost of goods, an ROI. Why is that even number one? Well, number one, because you resell, so you have to buy stuff. If your cost of goods are 10 cents, you can get away with selling a lot of $10, $12, $15 items. It's preferable to have a ratio. That ratio, as mine, is generically, not absolute, is generically 1 to 10. I prefer a 1 to 20 because that 1 to 20 means that that 1 to 10 will be absolute. So if something is $2, it has to get 20. Not all the time. It may be 3 and it may get 15. Who knows? But don't buy something for $5 that sells for 10 total of what you're going to get, because you're not going to get anything back on it. Getting stuff back on what you buy is called return on investment. So if you buy a CD, this cost me 50 cents. I didn't do a Terra Peak, but this Elon College, it's going to be a whim buy. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it was 50 cents. So that's contrary to what I'm about to explain on do things have a sell. Even if it sits for 6 months, if it sells for 20 bucks, even if it sells for 10, I still get my money out of it. And I still made money for my time, for what it took to look it up, to put it, to get pictures, to post, to store. It's still worth my time. If it was $5 and there was no 90-day sales at all for anything, no, I'm not going to buy it. If it's $5 and any of the ones that are listed are 20, I'm still not going to buy it. If it was $1, yeah. 2, yeah. 3, yeah, maybe. But is there a 90-day sales record when you're buying things? For either be free to a couple bucks, $5. Is there a 90-day sale record? Now, I sell just media, so it's a lot easier to just narrow down an artist or title or words on the cover art, the case, the book. It's a lot easier. If you have a threshold on what you pay to what you're going to list it for, or what you expect to want to get back, is there at least a decent Terra Peak rate? So if I Terra Peak this specific one, and if it comes up 20 bucks, awesome. If it comes up 50, awesomer. So it's one of those, what you're buying, how much it costs, and how fast it sells. Things that sell fast. I have a video on, I don't remember how many it was, but I think the video included about 30 things that sold within 2 weeks, and a quarter of those, 8, 9, right around there, sold within a couple of days. Those are the things, obviously, I look for. And being media is everywhere and it sells fast, I don't have to sit on a $10 item. I will buy $10 items very rarely, but that's mostly going to be because I paid a quarter for it, or 50 cents. And at 10 bucks, it does sell. And I'm still going to make a couple dollars on if I'm only paying 50 cents, still going to make pretty much just at that $2 mark if an item sells for 10. Another part within this product category, and there's a couple more that I'm going to go over different categories, but this subcategory is your weight of the item and the size of the item. So before I did this video, when I started coming up with the ideas and the little subcategories here, I went ahead and looked at all of my shipping labels, and I divided that number by the total amount of buyers and my shipping label average cost to what it cost me, and that includes return shipping labels as well. So all of my shipping label costs at the lowest number available was $4.59. If I took out everything that came back returned and went to the total amount of orders and went to duplicate buyers, assuming all of them bought at the same time, not all of them did, my shipping label price came to $4.51. That's, you know what, is what I want you to do. If you're listening to this, whoever is listening, if you're a reseller for eBay, go into your shipping label little tab section, go into orders, and shipping labels going to be down on the bottom. And just on the first page, come back at me with the lowest cost shipping label that you've paid for within the first page of the past 90 days. The lowest price. I know my lowest price that I paid. And it's below the average of what I mentioned for this. And the other part is size. You can hold in the typical, in these boxes here, 50 to maybe 60 CDs. Going to hold 20 to 22, 19 to 23 DVDs and games and things of that case size. So with all the CDs and DVDs and books I have, they don't take up a lot of room. So to conclude this section, this category of it, they cost little. That increases your ROI. They're very easy to ship. They sell faster than... The next part, kind of segue, is going to go into tools when I'm talking about sending stuff out. I'm going to go into the tools that you have. Those tools, just so I can segue from the products. One is the shipping materials. I buy varying sizes of bubble envelopes. The typical size, I want to say, is 5x7, 6x10. I think I do an 8x10 as well. But these fit in those bubble envelopes, and those bubble envelopes are going to, depending when you buy them, depending how many you buy, it's going to be anywhere from 8 to 12 cents. You can get the 200 eBay 6x10, they changed the size of that, 6x10 envelopes, 200 with a $50 off coupon. It's like $18, $19 tax where I'm at. So that's still not too bad for what it is, like 9.5 cents each. Or you can ship bigger things and you need all the paper fill. I use typically grocery bags, plastic grocery bags. I don't need to use it often, but when I do, you can get a whole bunch of those and crumble them up. And they're soft. They work well for padding. I haven't had any issues with it that I know of. But it's just real fast and easy. And all the small packaging that you buy, either boxes or envelopes, they're all going to take up very little space. So if this sells for 30 bucks, I have probably $10 in an envelope, a penny in the actual label, whatever the shipping cost may be. If it sells for 30 bucks, 15% on the fees for what that would be. So that's $4.50 plus the 30 cents, 40 cents it is for the transaction. So that's $4. If I paid, let's just say $1, that's $5. And then even if I add, if it went promoted and all that, let's just say it's a total of $6. And then to ship it, it's $4, it's $10. So I have $10 wrapped up in something I paid $1 for it. That's where that 1 to 20 rule comes in. Now I know I make 10 bucks. And that's pretty much what it's going to be. It's going to be anywhere from 9 to a little over 10 for any pretty much sale that's right on 20 bucks. If nothing really went promoted. The other part, which isn't necessarily important, but I do find it to be important, is your label printer and your scale. You don't have to go fancy. So the label printer, there's a bunch of them out there. The one I have, I bought almost 2 years ago. It was used on eBay, worth 4 rolls. I paid like 40 bucks for the thing, and it's been lasting since. Is a scale. it doesn't really matter the weight maximum of what it goes up to. I don't deal in a lot of things, but you can find scales, used scales at thrift stores for $2 to $10. It all depends. The other tool that is absolutely a game changer for resellers is Terapeak on the app, product research. That was maybe fall of last year, maybe in the summer of last year. And they put that up. Prior to that, when it would work properly, having a web page brought up on your phone, the eBay web page, and then having to have to go down to Terapeak product research from your phone from eBay's website, they're still good to have. Stops you from buying a lot of stuff. Having it on your phone will guarantee what you're typing in, if typed in correctly and spelled properly, and you're looking in the correct category, and all the other drill downs, you'll be able to know if the item that you're buying has at least a 3-year sales, or whatever time frame you go with. I go with 3 year. As opposing to being somewhere prior to being able to access that web page on your phone through the web page through eBay, prior to it being on the app. If you stopped somewhere, just an example, you stopped somewhere and there were 50 books. And someone said $3 a book. You're like, I don't want to look all 50 up because I don't know if they're worthwhile. It's either you can make a deal and buy all the books, maybe spend $100, and you come back and only one is worthwhile. So now you spent $100 and you're only going to get $50 maximum profit back on just the one. Everything else is junk. So you might have a lot of, you can see where the scenario can get bad. An absolute best game changer tool that there is Terapeak on the app. Scan, for me, media, I scan it. If it's got a barcode, I scan it. If it doesn't, I'll take that stack of whatever it may be. I'll go find a chair or a couch or a table or something somewhere to sit down, and I will hand type in just the standard search bar. If something comes up that's $25, or it comes up and the only pricings are $25, but there's no solds, I'll long press, copy everything that's in the search bar, go over to the product search, Terapeak, paste it, hit search, and it's default 3 years now. I don't know if it's just I did something on a setting on mine. I don't know if it's for every person who uses the eBay app that now defaults to 3 years. I don't know, but it does for mine, which saves a little bit of time. And if that $25 item comes back and there's 15 sold within 3 years for $25, I'm going to buy that CD or DVD for 50 cents or $1 or $2. I can wait that time frame. And if they're listed at 25, if there is a bunch listed at 10 or 12, I'm not going to bother looking it up in Terapeak. It's just not enough worth my time. Because if nothing came up in 90 days, it doesn't even have a good enough sales history in order for me to even buy it by typing it in. So I'm just not. The next category, time. Pictures. It's great. eBay now allows, 24 pictures, I think. I can remember back when there was no pictures. You didn't have to upload a picture. There was no tracking. It was all money orders and cashier's checks. The amount of pictures that you're allowed now, awesome. But with disc media, reason why I love it, another reason, is that it's 2 pictures. 2. Media, disc media wise, so sealed or open. DVDs are going to be yay big. CDs are going to be like this. You don't have to get a picture of the edging. Books, 50% of books don't even require much of any more than 4 pictures. The front, the back, it's thicker than the edging. You go inside, sometimes the cover page, at least the copyright page, and maybe a random page in the middle, or if you see markings in there, a picture of that page and a clean page. 4, 8 pictures, and then it's just snap, rotate, 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 flip over, and you're done. Another part with not only the item and what I mentioned before in regards to its actual size, this one is going to be also with the materials the packing, and the shipping speed. Shipping speed is double entendre. The packing. So a couple of my some of the videos I have of me pulling items down. Granted, most of those videos of me pulling, let's just say 10 items down, takes me 10 minutes, but I'm not going to have you guys look at the video of me going, bending down, moving up, grabbing boxes and stuff. Doesn't even take me 10 minutes to pull 10 items, whatever the exact number may be. If it's 20 items, it could be 15. Maybe it's majority CDs and I'm having difficulty finding the CDs in a box of 50 because they got shifted around, whatever it may be. But it's not going to take a long time. This gets slipped into a bubble envelope. I tear the sides down. I wrap the envelope a little over on the inside. The top gets wrapped over this way. That way it's now most of it is double bubbled. Weigh it up exactly, whatever it may be. If it's 3.9 ounces, 4 ounces. If it's 4.9, still 4 ounces. Type it in, whatever it needs to. It doesn't need dimensions. Just put in the ounce weight, slap a label on it, put it in the mail. Put it in the mail tote. So the size and the shipping speed. How long will it take me to package 10 items? It already took me 10 minutes to find them. Everything's going right. Printer's working right. There's eBay's loading the pages quick. It's going to be not even 5 minutes. I've got 15 seconds in each of these. DVD. Books, sometimes a little longer, depending on the value of the book. I may take a box and have to wrap it up and tape it. But I mean, most of my books are 40, 50 to over 100 bucks. So they're going to get extra attention. The other part that I'm going to, this other category, is work. So how much do you have to work in order to not cost you as much because you're working more? So like a video that I made about negative money is better than no money. Or another kind of aphorism that I have is that you have an ability, skill, and talent. As soon as you get to that skill part, you're now doing probably more for less time. So you're putting in less time and getting a bigger payout. Then a talent is just doing everything just quick-handedly, habitual. But your knowledge and your experience that you gain by each time you're going out looking at, for my case, for media case, looking at 30, 50, 100, 500, but to be able to give cursory looks or more detailed, slower time looks at the titles that are on the spines of CDs, DVDs, and books. I could be somewhere that there are 5,000 media items. And I'm going to pull to quick scan, I'm going to pull 100. It could vary. It could be 500. It could be 20. But of all that, I'm just cursing. My eyeballs are just automatically going past the Forrest Gumps. Automatically going past. I always just use Forrest Gump. But going past all these comments. And then picking out the things, the titles that you know, because you've scanned them before, you've brought them home, you've listed them before, they've sold before. That's repeating the title and information. And you look up things that are kind of obvious. So it's the old Blue's Clues. That's about 30 bucks. This is 20, right around there. Only reason why I got this, because it has the insert and the disc is mint. So this will be listed as like new, so I can command that $20. They don't sell for right around there. They different conditions sell right around 12 to 15 bucks. Am I going to be able to get that extra 5? Close, right around to it. This one has a non-typical barcode. And I hand typed, and they come up. There is none listed as sealed. And sold, there's only one that's sold. That's new for 12 bucks. But all the others that have sold, and there's like 15 that have sold, sell anywhere from 20 to 30 bucks. So someone just got a steal on that new one. So is it worth it for 20? Yeah, it was different. It was strange. So I've sold these before. I have another copy, so this is just going to be added to quantity. Torn curtain, common. Widescreen is not common. So if you just scan it, it's going to come up like 12, 14 bucks. So that I probably wouldn't. They don't have a high sell-through, but the widescreen are the ones that sell more common, and it's mint disc with insert. So I know by some of these things. Another Sigourney Weaver movie, like the one Copycat that I sold, but this one is used mint disc with insert, right around 20 bucks. So it's that $2.20, but that 20, no matter what, even if I paid $2, I'm still making $10 on. So you start to get experience. So why would I pick this one up? I don't recall ever reading the title. If I did, either way, and then I pull this up and I see that it's a young Sigourney Weaver. So this is likely an earlier print. Even if it's not a common copy. You start to get more knowledge and more experience that leads to more knowledge. And then you go from that ability to where now you're more skilled. More skilled is saving time because you're going past all these common things. And anything that's going to save you time is going to save you money. Another thing to really think about that saves you money as a reseller is your vehicle. What you drive. Are you driving a 2000 Suburban? Or are you driving like I do, 2012 Ford Fiesta gets 34 miles a gallon. Summertime highway, it's mid 40s highway. City is high 30s. It averages 36 in the summer, 33, 34 in the winter. But with a smaller vehicle, you get better gas mileage. It costs less maintenance parts because there's less of all those parts. If you're really not a hard driver, I buy 20,000 mile oil. I may not get the 20,000, but it's a higher, best quality oil without going way expensive for oil. I think it's like 25 bucks for 5 quart. I have collision. I don't have full coverage. I don't have collision, state collision, or state with collision or something myself. And the SUV that we have, it's $700 a year for both vehicles with collision. I don't have a car payment. So insurance is cheaper. The parts that I need for a smaller vehicle that gets 33 to 35 miles a gallon is cheaper. If you really want to go that crazy, when you need tires, get 80 or 100,000 mile tires. They're cheaper, they last longer, and they get you better gas mileage. The biggest thing for a reseller is not only what you're buying and how much it costs, but how you're getting it to and fro. It's a whole different mindset when you're driving around a vehicle knowing you're cruising down the highway getting 40 miles a gallon than it is driving around with something that you know you're only getting 15 at best. So I know I can go an hour and a half out if I want to. I got to map that out pretty well. The other part is I can't really point to it, right? But devices, your phone. You don't have to have a glamorous phone. You need something that'll operate the app and will be able to handle, if that's all you're going to use it for, be able to handle the flux of scanning. Airplane mode, that helps minimize everything. And then when you go off of airplane mode and back to regular service, the phone is going to ping the nearest tower, so you're going to have a better, stronger connection if that's the case. But the airplane mode shuts almost everything off on your phone besides the phone itself. That way, when you come out of it, it's only starting up what you're asking it to do right then and there. But if you have a larger place with a large amount of inventory, find some tablets. I know they're a dime a dozen everywhere. So that's another thing, is you don't have to spend a lot of money on devices, but for work and for your time, to have devices with you, make sure that they're updated, make sure that you're running the proper page, the proper programs, all those apps are updated, all that, and use it with you while you're getting inventory. The honorable mentions are monthly bills, receipts, and tax write-offs. Anything you could do to keep your monthly bills down. Switch your lights to LED. Now, I was fortunate enough to where on how I got the LEDs I have, pretty much got them for, I got paid to get them actually. And when I would go in, I would rearrange and clean and straighten up the display. So I would just go get bulbs, and the managers there would just write it off. And whatever bulbs I had left over, they were like, take it home. So I ended up with like 50 or 60 LED bulbs. That's one thing you could do. Change your heat or air conditioning to something a little lower or a little higher. Run your air conditioning at 72, run your heat at 68, whatever. All those bills that you're going to write off, the portion of them that you're going to write off, try to keep that amount as low as possible. Because regardless, you're paying either it be 100 or 300, whatever that bill is, you're paying it. The less it costs you, the more money you have. Well, you're going to have to pay tax on that difference, but still, it's more money. That's the point of this video. Things to save you money. Receipts. Keep every single one of your receipts. The worst that's going to happen is your accountant's going to tell you, no, you can't write that off. You can keep all your receipts just for general purpose, but keep all of them and take them to an accountant who's going to look the receipts. And speak to your accountant about write-offs. What can you write off? How much of it? We know your square footage or your lease, or if you use it, whatever your lease amount is in your utilities, or if you use your home or your garage, your vehicles, your equipment. And you can get a different cell phone, you can get a different computer, your cell phone service, your accountant. If you pay a monthly attorney or a yearly attorney for whichever for the business, you can write that off. You can all kinds of stuff. Talk to your accountant about that. So that's going to wrap this video up. It is not really extensive. There's a lot more things that can be added in there, things that can, I don't think about omitted. But there's a lot of ways on you as a reseller can save money throughout the year. Number one is how much you're paying for stuff. Number two is how fast it sells. Even if you're paying 10 cents for an item and it never sells, doesn't matter if you pay 10 cents for it. How much all of that item and transaction costs. How much it costs you to get around, and how much it costs you monthly to pay your bills and buy your inventory and buy your supplies. That's a generic list. If you like what you heard, like what you saw, feel free to comment, give a thumbs thingy, feel free to subscribe, feel free to share. It only takes a second. Appreciate it. Thank you.